Hennessey and welcome to the Outshore channel. I'd like to just have a quick word about why the world is the way it is. You know, most people are kind of born reasonable. They think to themselves, well, there's must be some reason for everything. And then they kind of get into science, or they get into introspection, they contemplate, they figure things out. And at the end of the day, what we notice about the world is that it takes a delight in manufacturing desolate, toxic follies as insults to the creative process. It might be that the people that run the world kind of fell here from heavens above, fell down here and decided to anger their Father in heaven, maybe by creating as much insult and being as unreasonable as possible, or creating insults, social insults to the nurturing, facilitative souls that are in heaven. Souls in heaven think that love and reason is second nature, loving reasonable people, because they're born that way. In the same way, plants and trees and all other living creatures are all very reasonable, and they all work out a reasonable way to live because they are built in a reasonable way and they operate in a reasonable way. And mankind has to try, and fail often. Man has to try and emulate nature in a more sophisticated way, because we've got minds, and our minds, our mental processes, have to artificially manufacture natural realities. The natural reality of the universe, the world over, the universe over, is love. Love is simply, in plants and biology, love is sharing water, it's drawing water from the source and sharing water of life between cells and within and between cells. It's called osmosis. It's a law in biology. Well, humans have to have the kind of osmosis of love, is they draw souls locked into the great nurturing vine of life, which has roots in many dimensions, will draw the water of the source. Love, just like that. And that water they'll have for themselves, and they'll sustain their brothers and sisters, cells around them, by sharing the water of love. So when Christ went on about the true vine in John 15, that he was the vine, that analogy truly holds. It's a natural law, it's a natural process, that doing things in a loving and sensible, reasonable way. It's reasonable to share with your brothers and sisters. It's reasonable to nurture. The universe of life thinks it's reasonable to share and nurture as well. So we just simply copying the universe of life with our minds, and we share with our brother and sister cells in our vine as well. Anyway, that's the universe, a very reasonable place. But on earth, however, the beings that fell here and have taken over and are distributing their strange follies, bizarre, toxic, surreal artifacts and stuff like that don't really work out. Technologies of dust and burning and ashes and fission, burning atoms to make nuclear energy, burning oil and coal to make other sorts of energy. When in truth we can have free energy from the universe, but it's all forbidden, because basically the people on this planet that run this planet, the draconian realities of this planet, are such that bizarre, toxic, desert forming nonsense is what it's all about. These are just simply insults to God, our Father. Now, these insults are created in many ways. They're created as part of social artifacts that don't have any real use, or they only have some use, and they offend the sensibilities of any sensible person. I mean, why would you have a horse and cart and made out of wood and have a DVD player on the front bench? You know, it's the same sort of thing that we're getting these strange technologies that don't add up to very much. We could have the water-powered car. We could have all sorts of free energy technology. We could have a utopia on planet Earth. We could have real artificial intelligence and robotics, and with that you would get industry that would serve the living beings on Earth. We could purify our deserts. We could remove all sorts of toxic waste. We could irrigate vast tracts of desert and turn it into fruitful irrigated cropland. We could sustain many more billions of people than are currently on this planet. This place could be a utopia. But instead of that, however, we could have had this utopia for the last 10,000 years on this planet. More, in fact, we could have had the most incredible space-age civilization that Captain Kirk and Jean-Luc Picard and the Enterprise and all that, federation of sensible, wonderful, rational people and all sorts of things. We could have some miraculous civilization on this planet, a utopic cash-free society that created medicines and nurtured all its learning, and it's schooled its children for generations. Could have been schooled on great things, great arts we could have had. But instead we've got toxic food. Now we've got eugenics programs trying to rid the planet of useless eaters and all sorts of stuff like that. And it's just all hideous nonsense, and it doesn't have to be. This planet doesn't have to purge itself of the beings on it. What it does have to purge itself of is this toxic, hateful deceit. The lies, the stuff posing as science is not really being scientific. In science you're supposed to discard useless theories like the Big Bang Theory or the daft God particle. I mean, people know that the universe is absolutely chaotic. Well, if you look at any example of chaos theory, you'll see a fractal mathematics is endless. And if the universe is in fact based on fractal mathematics, as it quite obviously is, then why would you get one solid God particle and nothing else? I mean, you surely get an endless, beyond scales of our imagination. You'd get endless supplies of ever finer and smaller particles or ever bigger particles. Endless fractal realities out of absolute chaos. But no, we've got a God particle. Who wants a God? Don't want this nonsense. The God particle is only the smallest as long as we don't measure, don't upgrade our measurement technology. We'll always have the same size of God particle. But it's just ridiculous. Nonsense. Follies. Bizarre, surreal follies. And they're all insults to reason. They're all insults to sensitivities. They're insults to love. They're insults to nurture. This could have been a very nurturing planet for thousands of years. And but you say, well, man did this. Man, who's man? What are we talking about when we're talking about man? We don't even know where man came from, do we? Realities. Look at the scientific reality of it. They're uncovering all sorts of weird archaeology every week now. Weird archaeology that blows this Darwin stuff out the. It's a nonsense. It's the whole what we consider to be reality is severely undermined by more and more. Some of it could be fake, of course, which is even more offensive to, I'm sure, God's loving nature. At the end of the day, though, we're stuck on this planet at the moment with overlords who are juiced up on also, into the dragon, our draconian overlords, full of skills and high-speed uptake, high-speed processing, beyond time, some of them. There could be whole hierarchies of families with genetics of slightly different abilities and slightly different species of reptiles or whatever, but at the end of the day, human beings are, human beings are just a wee bit past their sell-by date, according to some people. What are human beings? Human beings are unresonant people that don't process so fast, that don't listen to. That's me. I don't process that fast. I mean, you can hear me not processing that fast. Don't process that fast. But some people, like Bruce Lee, processes fast. Enter the Dragon. That you get some incredible realities on this planet. You get some incredible things going on. You get to see YouTubes of little kids, 8 or 9 years old, playing in recording studios the most incredible jazz music, and they can't even hear, as they're improvising live, what the other musicians are doing, but they're playing incredible stuff. Where does the ability to do that come from? All sorts of strange gifts and unknown processes going on this planet. But one thing's for sure, we don't have a nurturing society. Now the reason being is that the people in charge, the reptiles in charge, or the Anunnaki, or whoever they all are, whoever's in charge of this stuff, they don't want it to be a high-tech utopia. They enjoy their garbage, they enjoy the desolation, they enjoy the sterile, toxic nonsense. They love it like that. That's the concept of happy damnation, isn't it? Living in places where all life is dying, or being made to die, or being tormented or desiccated, or starved of love, or starved of nurture. That's their thing. That's planet Earth, the place where Anunnaki starve other beings of life and nurture, be they plants or human beings or whatever. Human, by the way, what is a human? Well, it says in the Masonic Encyclopedia somewhere that Druids worship the great god Hu, who's a reptilian, H-U, who's a reptilian. So human must be, men made out of reptiles, or I don't know. Any way, the way that you want to look at this planet is it's not a happy place for nurturing people. And these nurturing people are on a shortlist, aren't they, to be honest about it. So, planet Earth. Welcome to planet Earth. Just don't join in the song of desolation.